Ever found yourself staring at your phone, juggling a million financial apps, and wondered, is there a way to make this simpler? I mean, seriously, we're living in a world where you can order groceries with a tap, pay for coffee with a glance, and invest your spare change with another tap. But what if you could streamline that even further? What if you could link the ease of Apple Pay with the effortless investing of Acorns? Imagine, every time you buy that latte, a little bit goes towards your future. Sounds like a dream, right? Or is it a reality? Let's be honest, we're all looking for those little wins in our financial lives. We're bombarded with advice on budgeting, saving, and investing, and it can feel overwhelming. Acorns has carved out a niche by making investing accessible, especially for those of us who are just starting out. The idea of rounding up your purchases and investing the spare change is genius in its simplicity. It's like finding loose change in your couch cushions, but instead of buying a candy bar, you're building a portfolio. And then there's Apple Pay, the epitome of convenience. It's fast, secure, and integrated into our daily lives. So, naturally, the question arises, can these two powerhouses of financial technology work together? Now, before we dive into the technical details, let's understand why this question even matters. It's not just about saving a few seconds here and there. It's about building habits. It's about creating a seamless financial ecosystem where your everyday spending contributes to your long-term goals. Imagine, you grab lunch, pay with Apple Pay, and behind the scenes, Acorns is working its magic, investing that spare change. It's like having a personal financial assistant that works 24/7. And in today's fast-paced world, who wouldn't want that? So, let's get down to brass tacks. Can you directly link Apple Pay to Acorns? The answer, unfortunately, is a bit nuanced. You can't directly link Apple Pay in the sense that Acorns directly pulls transaction data from Apple Pay. Acorns primarily works by linking to your bank accounts and credit cards. When you connect a debit or credit card to Acorns, it tracks your purchases and rounds them up to the nearest dollar. This rounded up amount is then invested into your chosen portfolio. However, here's where Apple Pay comes into play indirectly. If you use Apple Pay with a debit or credit card that's already linked to your Acorns account, then, yes, those transactions will be rounded up and invested. Apple Pay essentially acts as a conduit for your existing linked cards. So, if your Visa debit card is linked to Acorns, and you use Apple Pay with that Visa card, Acorns will still round up the transaction. The magic happens behind the scenes, with Acorns tracking the original card transaction, not the Apple Pay transaction itself. Think of Apple Pay as a faster, more secure way to use your linked cards. Now, let's break this down with a practical example. Imagine you have a debit card from your bank linked to your Acorns account. You go to your favorite coffee shop and use Apple Pay to pay for your $3.50 latte. Apple Pay facilitates the transaction, but it's your linked debit card that's actually being used. Acorns then rounds up that $3.50 to $4, and the 50 cents difference is invested into your portfolio. So, while you're not directly linking Apple Pay to Acorns, you're using it in conjunction with your linked cards, effectively achieving the same result. But, and this is a crucial point, the key is having those underlying cards linked to Acorns. If your Apple Pay is linked to a card that's not connected to Acorns, then those transactions won't be rounded up and invested. This is where many people get confused. They assume that because they're using Apple Pay, it automatically integrates with Acorns. But it's the underlying card that's doing the heavy lifting. Now, let's talk about the benefits of using Apple Pay in conjunction with Acorns. First and foremost, security. Apple Pay uses tokenization, which means your actual card number isn't stored on your device or shared with merchants. This adds an extra layer of security compared to using your physical card. Secondly, speed and convenience. Apple Pay transactions are incredibly fast, making it easy to pay for purchases on the go. And when you combine that with the automatic investment feature of Acorns, you're essentially automating your financial growth with every tap. However, there are also some potential drawbacks to consider. One of the main challenges is keeping track of your spending. Because Apple Pay transactions are so seamless, it's easy to lose track of how much you're spending. This can make it difficult to budget effectively. To mitigate this, it's essential to regularly review your Acorns account and your bank statements. This allows you to monitor your spending habits and ensure you're staying within your budget. Another potential issue is that you might not see the roundup transactions immediately. There can be a slight delay between when you make a purchase and when Acorns processes the roundup. This can sometimes lead to confusion, especially if you're trying to track your spending in real time. But rest assured, Acorns will eventually process the roundup, and you'll see it reflected in your account. So, what's the takeaway here? Can you link Apple Pay to Acorns? Not directly, but you can use them together effectively. It's all about understanding how Acorns works and ensuring your linked cards are being used through Apple Pay. By doing so, you can leverage the convenience and security of Apple Pay while automating your investments with Acorns. Now, let's address some common questions people have about this integration. Many people wonder if there are any additional fees associated with using Apple Pay and Acorns together. The good news is that there are no extra fees. Acorns charges its standard subscription fees, and Apple Pay is free to use. So, you can enjoy the benefits of both platforms without incurring any additional costs. Another common question is whether you can choose which Apple Pay transactions are rounded up. Unfortunately, Acorns doesn't offer this level of granularity. It rounds up all transactions made with linked cards, regardless of whether you use Apple Pay or your physical card. So, if you're looking for more control over which transactions are rounded up, you'll need to manually adjust your Acorns settings or consider using a different investment strategy. For those of you who are new to Acorns, it's worth noting that the platform offers various investment portfolios to suit different risk tolerances. You can choose from conservative, moderate, or aggressive portfolios, depending on your financial goals and risk appetite. Acorns also offers other features, such as Found Money, which allows you to earn bonus investments when you shop at participating retailers. These features can further enhance your investment journey and help you achieve your financial goals. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.